Okay, with head coach of the women's soccer team, Grant Landy, after a very successful weekend down in Stanislaus. Coach, congratulations on the win, playoff win, first one in program history for when it comes to the CC2A tournament.
Yeah.
Second overtime battle, you guys won 2-1. Just kind of walk us through the emotions of that game and how it was to coach a game like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a up and down affair. Felt like we had good tactics, a good game plan. Players bought into it. Played Stanislaus a little bit differently than we had played them earlier on in the season. I think it was effective. I think 10 or 11 shots by halftime. So we're getting chances, but again, just not being able to kind of finish those opportunities. And second half was just kind of a back and forth. They got a goal 10 minutes left in the game, and just found a way to battle back. We pressed them a little bit, got into the box, good service into the box, and then PK on their goalkeeper, and Aaron Moore finished it, and then Frida found the game winner in the second overtime. So just accumulation of, when you go through a season and you're home, you're away, you're in Australia, you're playing ranked teams, you hope that all those things help you in a game like that, and I think it did.
And just the first conference tournament win in program history.
Yeah.
How monumental is that for you in your program?
It's big. I think a lot of players don't know the history of the program. And last year we made a mark. And I think this year they wanted to do something a little bit further on. So we just talked about maybe taking one more step, which was try to get to the semifinal, which hasn't happened in over 20 years, close to 20 years. So they're learning as they go, because these are all new players of the program the last 3 or 4 years. But then when you talk to them about it, I think they're super excited to be part of something that's making a statement. And so I think this is the reason why these guys came here. Majority of them came here was the opportunity to compete in this conference and show what they're made of, game in and game out. And it hasn't always been smooth, and every season's ups and downs and wins, and we went through a bit of a struggle the last couple of weeks, but in all, but you learn from those, and you hope to get into matches like that on Sunday and find the will to win. So it's a cumulative effect of everything you've been through during the season.
And from even before when the season started, before the Australia trip, you kind of expressed that you had high expectations and beliefs in this team.
Yeah.
How nice is it to kind of have those feelings be justified?
Yeah, I mean, you as a head coach, you're always trying to look for things that can give you an edge and put your team in a position to be successful. The Australia trip was great, monumental, amazing, but there was a risk involved in it, in the elongating the season. I think we talked about that before. And maybe that during that 2-week time where we were struggling a little bit, I think maybe there was some fatigue factor in there. And so to get on the other side of that, find some momentum, and bring it all together in that game is, from a coaching perspective, like you couldn't ask for anything more.
Coach, when you and I talked, you said that you felt like you're kind of starting to heat up at the right time.
Yeah.
You're coming in now, going to Monterey, a beautiful facility, and set up there for the semifinal match against top seed Pomona.
Yeah.
They came into our facility this year. They did beat us on our home field.
Yeah.
What does that look like heading into this week for kind of a big Cal Poly rematch?
Yeah. Well, they proved to be the best team. You win the conference championship in this league. Like, it's such a great honor for them because it's so difficult. But it sets up, honestly, really nice for us because we've talked and joked a little bit about this season as being a little bit of a redemption tour for us, based on some of the results that we had last year. Hey, this is a team that beat us last year. Let's try to get them back. And so to be able to have an opportunity to play a team that's already beat you, motivation should be super high. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is that we've already played down at Monterey, so we know that facility, know that location. So there'll be a little bit of comfort there versus a place like Stanislaus where we haven't been in a couple of years. And it took us a little bit of time in that game to kind of get used to the surface. We'll feel, like we've, already have some experience there, so that'll be nice.
And under the lights too, that's got to be pretty cool for the team.
Yeah, we haven't really done that at all.
Yeah.
So Super fun. Night games are great. Should be lots of energy, lots of lot of work and passion for the game. We're going to try to get down there tomorrow and get a night practice session in so they can kind of get a feel for what that looks like, and that'll be good. But yeah, I mean, once you get to this point, you roll the balls out and see where it takes you. But I think we should have a lot of motivation for this game for sure.
And just Sunday's win was your first, or the program's first win over Stanislaus since 2015.
Okay.
Does that kind of give you more motivation, being able to believe, or not that you would believe, but confidence to achieve that you could beat a team like Cal Poly Pomona as well?
We've done the three. Played Stanislaus, I think, 4 times in the last 3 years. Lost to them there, but the last 2 years at home we tied them, and felt like those were games that could have gone either way. So that was nice. They're a very difficult team to play. Be able to do that on their home field, I think, should give us some confidence going to a neutral site and playing a really good team. At this point, all 4 teams have proven to be really good, and so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it gives us some confidence. It should. But you have to bring that same type of work, passion, belief to the next game too. And so, we'll talk about this tomorrow when we get on the road and get to practice. Are we just happy to be here for the first time, or are we ready to take it a step further? It's going to be very, very difficult because Pomona is very, very good.
Coach, last question here.
Yeah.
It's this afternoon. It's going to release here in about an hour or so, but the All CC2A Awards. I wanted to get your thoughts on Amelia Long. Came in, she basketball and soccer. There's a lot of talk around this big, great athlete. She gets newcomer of the year for the conference. Pretty huge achievement. And then she's also awarded second team All CC2A. And then, of course, Megan, who's been like a staple in that back line all year, very consistent. She gets second team honors. And Frida, one of the better forwards on the team.
For sure.
Very talented player. She gets honorable mention. Obviously, there's a lot of people on your team that are deserving of these awards, but what are your thoughts for those 3 specifically? And can you touch on Millie a little bit, being the newcomer of the year?
Yeah, I think, this team, the last couple of years that I've had them, I think one of the reasons why we've been successful is that we have players at each position that kind of know their role and do their role within the confines of the team. And sometimes when you get to those final awards, those players don't have the stats or have the pedigree in the conference. And so I think that's a little bit of why maybe we didn't get more players chosen. And that's okay. I mean, I think the team achievements are always going to outweigh the individual achievements. And so there'll be some disappointment with that. But I think part of it is because we're very well balanced. I think there's other teams in the conference that maybe have 1 or 2 really outstanding players, so they stick out. And there's not a lot of change with our starting group and our players that come on. So I think that's part of the reason we've been successful. As far as the 3 that made it, like, very well deserved. Frida and Amelia have been our leading goal scorers and assist players the whole entire season. Super dangerous when they're up there playing against each other. Part of the reason why we've been really successful. Megan's been just a stud on the back line. You can count on her every game to be a leader back there, winning balls in the air. Just had a really, really fabulous season. And I was kind of hoping when Amelia came on that she put herself in the conversation of this award. And so she's just been dangerous, one of those players that other teams have to count on. And that's been really good for our team to have somebody like that who can stretch defenses, because it opens up the field for other forwards and our midfield players. Emma and Grace Johnson have scored their share of field goals this year too, and part of the reason is that our forwards have been dangerous. And so again, just going back to being a very well balanced team.
Absolutely. Good luck this week, and
Okay.
hope we bring home a trophy for us.
Okay, thanks.